So the 17 facts about 2017 felt like a good video to do another behind the scenes version of, because I'm using a decent amount of equipment, very similar to the NTSC frame rate video. So as I swing further and further around, you'll see I'm actually using a screen over there. So that is a kind of a vision. Yes, it's on the ironing board. That is a vision fold, I guess. Right, so what I've done is down here is my laptop, which is hooked up to a foot pedal, so I can do the classic advancing it with the foot pedal, well, so I can talk and keep my hands free. That's going into everyone's favorite vision mixer over there, which is then feeding into this TV, and I've got an output from the camera as well. So this is just a blurred together image of the green screen, like graphics, and my vision, and that is just so I can keep track of exactly where, because normally all I see would be this with the black background, but this means I can see where I am relative to everything else, and so I can make sure I'm in the right spot. And then I'm capturing the green screen graphics on my laptop as I cue them, and then I can then chroma key. I can take the green out and overlay them over this footage at the end, and it all should sync up perfectly. The only thing that is not actually on the screen is the clock. So the clock, can you see it? It's a white rectangle, and that's because it's really hard to get a clock running across several slides in a presentation. And if I put that in post, I can make sure it perfectly lines up with the video. So everything else, I'm recording the graphics live, mix them later. This is just a temporary feed to line stuff up, put the clock on, and the video should be done. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do I do these videos where I claim it's going to take a certain amount of time, and then I do it in one take, and it does take that amount of time. So for the dice video, where I said it'd be 1 minute 18 seconds, I just did it once. I said this is going to take blah seconds, did the whole thing, 1 minute 18, did it again, but put 1 minute 18 in it. And then I've got a clock. So I haven't got it set at the moment because it's going to be the phone I'm recording on right now. I'm going to set it up. I've got a set there. I can hook it in there, and I have like a full screen stopwatch on the phone, so I can just keep, you know, I don't look straight at it. I get really annoyed when you watch YouTube videos and the person is not looking down look down the lens. I hate it when people are like, as if they're talking to the lens, but they're looking off to the side. So I always look down the lens, and then the clock and the graphics are just in the peripheral vision. So you don't look at them, but you can kind of keep tabs of where they are. If I need to actually look at something, I'll make it a deliberate, like, oh, talking to camera, oh, let's have a quick think. Oh, look, I've looked at a thing. And now back to the camera. So it's none of this just kind of steering off to the side business, which is why the clock is exactly pretty much behind the camera that I've got set up. So I'm going to put my phone over there, and we'll pick this up from the main camera. Okay, here we go. This is the main footage. Here's the sync point. That's so I can match up the graphics with the sound and the footage and everything else. Okay, here we go. So I start when my stopwatch ticks over a whole minute, which is in about 8 seconds. Here are 17 number facts about 2017 in 2 minutes and 17 seconds. If you want to keep track, there is a timer, a little unobtrusive timer in the corner there. So 2017 is a prime number. That hasn't happened since 2011 and won't happen again until 2027. It has a digit sum of 10. In English, it contains 11 distinct letters. If you're wondering what they are, I have an info box here for extra information. It has no letters in common with the phrase prickly fig, which won't happen again until the year 7000, which doesn't necessarily make it an exciting fact. In fact, I've got an excitometer. Can we just... Here are 17 number facts about 2017 in 2 minutes and 17 seconds. If you want to keep track of the time, there's a little unobtrusive timer in the corner there. So 2017 is a prime number. That's the first year since 2011 to be prime, and won't be prime again until 2027. It has a digit sum of 10. In English, it contains 11 distinct letters. If you're wondering what they are, I have an info box here. In English, it contains no letters in common with the phrase prickly fig, which won't happen again until the year 7000, which doesn't necessarily make it an exciting fact. In fact, I've got an excitometer, so you know how excited you should be. So when I tell you that it's the sum of two squares, you know that an elevated level of excitement is appropriate. Although all primes which are one more than a multiple of 4 can be written as the sum of two squares, it's also a prime one more than a multiple of 8. It's a prime one more than a multiple of 16. And both of these years and 2017 are all primes one more than a multiple of 32. If you write it down and pretend it's in base 8, 2017 is still a prime number. It's a prime which is a square number plus a fourth power. It's a prime year in which I turn a prime age. Although, to be honest, even though I am severely excited, everyone else less so. In terms of being a prime, if you half it and round it up to the next whole number, it's still prime. So that is double prime in my books. And it's the beginning of a 10-year prime drought. Although back in the 14th century, we had a record 33 years with no primes. And in the 70s, we got through 22 years with no primes. So we'll be okay. But just in case, I have some non-prime facts as well. It is the smallest number to be a palindrome in the consecutive bases 31. It's a prime in base 31 and in base 32. There you go. 2017 is also a number which is not 2016, provided without comment. And finally, fact number 17, it is the number of permutations of 8. What a ticker! It's the number of permutations of 8 objects if the first 3 objects are not in their original order. There you are, 17 facts in time. If you have any more, send them in. And to everyone out there, I wish you a very happy new year. That'll do.